The Korthak had ruled the Outer Rim for 3 millennia. Standing 9 feet tall with chitinous exoskeletons that could deflect plasma fire, they were evolution's perfect killing machine. Their razor-sharp mandibles could slice through titanium, and their 6 limbs moved with deadly precision. For countless generations they had swept across star systems, harvesting lesser species for sport and sustenance. When their scouts first detected the small blue world orbiting an unremarkable yellow star, they dismissed its inhabitants as another easy conquest. The bipedal creatures called humans possessed no natural armor, no venomous fangs, no razor claws. They were soft, pink, and pathetically vulnerable. Admiral Vexthok clicked his mandibles in amusement as he reviewed the intelligence reports. These humans fight with crude projectile weapons and explosive devices. Their ships barely achieve sublight speeds. We shall harvest their world in 7 rotations. The first Korthak raid fleet arrived at Earth expecting a routine slaughter. They descended upon a human military outpost in what the locals called Afghanistan, confident in their superior firepower and biological advantages. They had not anticipated the tenacity of Sergeant Maria Rodriguez. As Korthak warriors stormed, the compound with plasma rifles blazing, Rodriguez did something no rational being should do when faced with insurmountable odds. She smiled. While her squad fell back to defensive positions, she grabbed an anti-tank rocket and charged directly at a Korthak heavy assault unit. The alien warrior, standing twice her height and weighing 4 times as much, raised its plasma cannon with casual disdain. Rodriguez dove, rolled, and fired her rocket at point-blank range. The explosion vaporized them both, but it also took out 3 other Korthak warriors and their command vehicle. Across the base, similar scenes unfolded. Humans fought with a desperate fury that the Korthak had never encountered. When they ran out of ammunition, they used knives. When the knives broke, they used rocks. When there were no rocks, they used their bare hands and teeth. Private Chen disabled a Korthak hunter by jamming a grenade into its breathing apparatus and holding it there as the device detonated. Lieutenant Murphy strangled a warrior with his own intestines after taking a plasma blast to the gut. The humans didn't just fight. They fought like cornered animals who had forgotten they were supposed to die. By the time reinforcements arrived, the Korthak raiders lay scattered across the compound in pieces. Only 3 humans survived, all critically wounded, all still shooting. Admiral Vexthok's confidence wavered as reports flooded in from other raids. The humans were responding with unprecedented coordination. Within hours of the first attacks, their entire planet had mobilized for war. They converted civilian factories into weapons manufacturing, turned passenger aircraft into bombers, and transformed shopping centers into fortress bunkers. The Korthak had expected panic and surrender. Instead, they faced a species that seemed to grow stronger under pressure. Dr. Sarah Kim, a xenobiologist studying captured Korthak specimens, made a disturbing discovery. Their physiology is optimized for dominance displays and quick kills, she reported to the Human Defense Council. They've never faced sustained resistance. They don't know how to fight a war of attrition. Humanity's response was swift and merciless. If the Korthak wanted a war, humans would give them one. But it would be fought on human terms. The turning point came during the Battle of Luna Station. A Korthak assault fleet surrounded the moon base, demanding surrender. Commander Jackson's response became legendary throughout human space. Come and take it. What followed was 72 hours of continuous combat. The Korthak expected the humans to exhaust themselves and capitulate. Instead, they watched in growing horror as human defenders fought in shifts, eating, sleeping, and bleeding in the corridors while maintaining constant pressure on the invaders. When a Korthak warrior would tire after hours of combat, fresh human soldiers would replace their fallen comrades. The humans had turned warfare into an industrial process, efficient, relentless, and utterly without mercy. Captain Emma Torres exemplified this new human doctrine. After losing her arm to plasma fire, she cauterized the wound with a damaged power cell and continued fighting for 18 more hours. When asked later why she didn't retreat to the medical bay, she simply said, "They were still in my station." The Korthak began to break. These apex predators, accustomed to quick victories and easy prey, found themselves facing an enemy that refused to acknowledge defeat. Humans who should have died kept fighting. Units that should have routed regrouped and counterattacked. A species that should have submitted instead grew more dangerous with every casualty. Admiral Vexthok received increasingly desperate reports from his field commanders. "They fight without honor," complained one. "They attack our wounded," protested another. "They show no mercy to prisoners," cried a third. The admiral's response was cut short by an explosion that rocked his flagship. Somehow, impossibly, human commandos had infiltrated the bridge. Major Lisa Wang stood amid the carnage, her armor scarred and bloodied, holding a plasma grenade with the pin already pulled. "Message from Earth," she said calmly. "We don't negotiate with predators." The detonation claimed Wang's life, but it also eliminated the Korthak High Command. Leaderless and demoralized, the invasion fleet began to retreat. But humanity wasn't finished. Commander Torres, now leading a hastily assembled pursuit fleet, broadcast a message that would echo across the galaxy. "You came to our home. You threatened our children. You thought we were prey. Now you learn the truth. Humans aren't the prey species. We're the ones who hunt the hunters." The Korthak retreat became a rout as human forces harassed them across 7 star systems. Species that had cowered before the Korthak for millennia watched in amazement as these small, soft humans systematically dismantled an empire built on fear and predation. In the aftermath, as galactic civilization struggled to comprehend what they had witnessed, xenobiologist Dr. Kim published her final report on human combat psychology. "They mistake our compassion for weakness, our cooperation for submission. They fail to understand that we are not a prey species because we choose not to be. We are what happens when evolution's greatest social hunters decide something must die." The Korthak still exist, but their empire has crumbled. Their survivors whisper warnings to their young. Beware the humans, for they fight not just with weapons but with something far more dangerous, the absolute refusal to accept defeat. They're still counting their dead.